Hi, welcome back. What just happened there? I'm just that's. I made some like hot water to drink for this phlegm, but that's good. No, anyway, this video is not for kids. Okay, I'm very explicit and straightforward in the way I speak. By the way, so. I don't know how you feel about that, but just a warning. Hi, welcome back to our channel. I'm Bianca, one of the bosses. If you're new here, we make vlogs and content about how to be better as people who serve Jesus and focusing on marriage and parenting. That is, but that's what we do here, and we share all of our passions, like homemaking and all those things. And welcome here. Please subscribe and like if you're here, if you're new. And today I'm going to give you my first trimester recap situation. Have like about 15 potatoes to peel and then chop and then cook. So I thought I might just put you here and then talk to you while I'm at it. So first off, where do I start? What do I tell you? Here's the question. So basically we found out I was pregnant, I don't know when. So in January, February, I think it was February. I can't even remember. So we found out we were pregnant, and Christian, my husband, actually said that we have to call the gynecologist immediately, the gynecologist, OB/GYN, whatever, and just get a checkup, because in September we 90% surety think that I had an early miscarriage, which is called a chemical pregnancy, which has not been diagnosed as such. Normally chemical pregnancies are very difficult to actually diagnosed apparently. But anyway, if you want to hear that story, because I did record it, but I'm still like praying whether I should share that with everyone. But if you want to hear that story, leave a comment down below, and then obviously your vote and say will have a count on whether we're gonna share that or not. But anyway, so, and after that happened, I was spot bleeding so much. So I was literally like bleeding for 3 weeks out of a month, constantly, but not like full on bleeding, just like enough to grant worry, to put it like that. Anyway, so we made an appointment, we got in like same day, and we went to the doctor, and when you go, they always ask you for your first day of your last menstruation cycle, and I gave the date, and then because of the spotting in between, and I don't know how it happened, but because of that, when they put in the date that I gave, it showed that I was 8 weeks pregnant. And because I used the Flow app to track everything, and the Flow app said I was 4 weeks pregnant and 1 day, and I showed it to them, and they were like, no, something's weird. They think that I'm 8 weeks, and they immediately did Sonar, a vaginal sonar. So then that's when they like go in, for lack of a better description, Um, so in the sonar, doctor couldn't find any embryo or fetus or cyclone or whatever you call it in the beginning, and neither could he find a placenta growing, like anything like that, like a bubble or something, some proof that I was pregnant. And then he was like, but what did the blood test say? What was my count? And then I'm like, I didn't go for blood tests. I called you immediately. Like, there wasn't space for blood tests. And then they were quite irritated with us. Not making sure that we're actually pregnant, but I'm like, my mom knows, you know your body. Anyway, so went down to the labs to get blood tests. Had to wait around for like an hour and a half until the results came in. I feel like they just really could have phoned us, because we just sat there and waited for literally nothing. And then they found us, or we had to go back in, and then they were like, okay, no, we are definitely pregnant, but it is quite early still. So the doctor was freaking out because the count was not as high as he wanted, and in his mind, I'm 8 weeks pregnant and he can't find the baby and he doesn't know what's going on. So he said either it's an ectopic pregnancy or I already miscarried and baby's on the way down. So then we had to go back in 2 days, do blood tests again to see if the HCG count went up or went down, to see whether it was an actual pregnancy or a miscarriage. And then we went back, count went up by 2,000, I think. I can't remember, 1,000 or 2,000, whatever. It doesn't matter. Count went up high enough, so we knew there is definitely a pregnancy going on. And then he did another sonar, because he was like, okay, so now we have to find this baby, because if it's an ectopic pregnancy, we're probably gonna have to, take it out. So, because then the pregnancy will probably not be viable depending on the situation. So he had to. Okay, long story short, he did another sonar. He found the baby, or the placenta, or the something. It's literally just like on the sonar, it looks like a bubble. And that's where the nickname came. So baby is called Bubble. That's the nickname. And that's where the nickname came from. So I like to give the babies some type of nickname while they're in the womb, so that I have something to call them by, So Laura was just Babes. She was just Babes. This one is just Bubble for now. So yes, anywho. So found the bubble, and then I had to go back in a week. I think it was a week. Might have been 2, but I think it was a week, because doctor was still not happy, and he was like, something is fishy, because why is the bubble just a bubble? So I went back, and then he could see the baby fully being formed, healthy, small but healthy. And then he could figure out by measuring and looking at all the stuffy stuffs. And he was like, oh, you really were just 4 weeks. You're just 5 weeks pregnant now. And I was like, told you so. Like, seriously? Making me pay for all these sonars and blood tests, and I told you. But anyway, luckily, or no, I don't like the word, thankfully, better safe than sorry, right? Like, I'd rather have a doctor who makes sure and double checks than just like believes whatever you say and then something is wrong and nobody actually followed up on it. So better safe than sorry. There's that. Then I went back for my 12-week scan again. And everything was good and dandy. So that's basically my doctor's report for first trimester. Myself, things that I've noticed was since 5 weeks pregnancy, on 5 weeks, my pants already didn't fit and I was already starting to show clearly. Like people are always asking me whether I'm pregnant because I have like IBS, so my stomach bloats like a balloon. So I constantly get the question, are you pregnant? But now people were not just like randomly asking me, am I pregnant? They were actually thinking of it like, is she really pregnant? Like something's going on. And I was already gaining weight. In like, my face or just bloating. My face is so round already. So by 5 weeks, my pants, like jeans, didn't fit anymore and I couldn't get them closed. And I already started to show and I already started getting nauseous. And I was already starting to feel extremely tired. I would literally, when I would sit down, I would instantly fall asleep. So when I was home alone with Laura, I had to stay upright the whole time because if I would sit down, I would fall asleep, which is obviously not a good idea. So Laura is safe, nothing happened. Don't worry about that. But I had to just like make a point of it of staying upright, or if I really wanted to sit down because of tiredness, I would sit outside and the fresh air would keep me awake, which was helpful. Play in the sand or do something with my hands just to keep me busy, you know. But just sitting down and doing nothing wasn't an option. And the nausea kicked in full swing very fast, which is much earlier than with my first pregnancy. And so with my first pregnancy, I drank ginger ale to help with nausea. This time that didn't work. That really didn't work. What helped me was Coke. And obviously Coke has caffeine in, and you're not actually allowed all these varying opinions, but like avoiding caffeine is quite important when you're pregnant. And my husband, bless his heart, is really on top of making sure that I don't eat and drink what I'm not allowed to eat and drink. So I had to like sneak in sips of Coke without him knowing. Then trying to help, he bought decaf Coke, like Coke without caffeine. And that was just like sweet water. It was gross. It just made it worse. So we went on a trip and there wasn't really anything to drink. If you know me, I don't like, what is making that sound? Uh-oh. That's not good. My slow cooker is spilling over into the electric bin. I don't think it's allowed to get wet in there, is it? Anywho, we'll see how it goes. Please don't break. I have to transfer that into a pot. I have to cook the veggies first. I don't have enough pots. Anywho, so where was I? Clearly the distraction and like forgetfulness has set in. Oh, the Coke. Okay, so we went to a wedding of friends of ours and there was appetizer and I was drinking appetizer and we realized the apple or even the grape, like that sour taste really helped. So I started drinking apple and grape juice instead for the nausea, and that helped. I had severe reflux and heartburn, which I never get. So I would like suck a rennie every night, but you're not supposed to eat too many rennies. So then during the day, when I can't eat rennies, I would chew chappies, bubblegum or spearmint flavor, but the chappy really like helped with that. And then I don't know what's worse, the nausea or this, but I had this taste in my mouth, and no matter what I ate or drank or did, this taste wouldn't go away. It was like a taste of reflux, like sour, bitter grossness. I don't know. It was gross. You constantly feel like your breath is smelly and like your mouth is tasting like reflux. That's the taste. It's disgusting, and I realized anything sweet would make it much worse. So I avoided anything sweet. Even milk made it much worse. So that was difficult. So the nausea, guys, it went on so long this time compared to the previous time. But nothing helped. What I did do was I struggled to throw up a little bit. So I would make myself, because I really felt 100 times better afterwards, after being sick, and it really helped. So I would make myself throw up, and I don't usually have a gag reflex, but being so nauseous, it was there. It was like I would just brush my teeth and then I would vomit. And then about a few weeks in, not much long, I started getting sick, and the slime would sit in my throat, and every time I would feel slime just like sliding down or choking in my throat, I would vomit. So there's that. That was a wonderful experience, and every time I vomit, I pee my pants. So I had to change my clothes often. This is very TMI, but I'm a very real and raw person, and that's what happened. This is truth. So the first trimester, ultimately, the only other thing, I had breast tenderness and pain, a lot of it. I did feel hip cramps and stomach cramps a lot, and I also started getting leg cramps, but that was closer to second trimester. And yes, a lot of pain, a lot of nausea, physically, and a lot of tiredness. That's how I felt. What was interesting was my aversions this time around. I had the basic food aversions, like meat. I couldn't cook any meat inside of the house. I couldn't open something that was 2 days closed. That was too much. So any rotten thing or no meat. I couldn't work with any meat. I don't even know what we ate, but I really struggled with cooking. And I couldn't drink any vitamins. They would come right out. I couldn't swallow them and keep them down. That happened with my first pregnancy. And my doctor just said, you know what, try to take it right before bed. Skip the omega. This time I don't have a separate omega. That time I did. And just try. keep on trying. I didn't keep on trying. I stopped after a while, and then I was like, I'll try again when I'm not nauseous. Anyway, so what also happened was the nausea kept on like going away. And then I had like 2 or 3 good days. This was like after probably like 3-4 weeks of nausea, constant, no longer. But anyway, closer to the end of first trimester, the nausea went away for like a few days, and then it would come back. And I think the reason for that was all the mucus, because I was so sick, and clearly I'm still not well, better, but still trying to heal. So I think that causes the nausea to set in a bit more frequently, and stay longer. Although I don't know, I'm just speculating. But anyway, guys, I really, when I pray, I'm like, please take it away. Like, please, I can't be nauseous. That's something that I really cannot handle. Like, I mentally break down when I'm nauseous. I cannot handle nausea. I go into a depression state. I cannot handle it. I'm terrible when I'm nauseous. Like, I just can't. So, funny things, talking about aversions, getting sidetracked here. Woo! Talking a lot. I would be, everything was smelling either really sharp or really stinky. And I didn't want to be in my own house. And later I found out that this is actually an aversion that happens sometimes, is you get an aversion to your house or to your spouse or to someone you know, and like they irritate you, and smell that you smell is affecting you. And okay, 1 second. So I had a complete aversion to my house. I never wanted to come home. It was just a smell. My house felt gross and disgusting. If you watched my previous vlog where I was cleaning, I was talking about this a little bit. But it was really bad. Like, I didn't want to be at home at all, and it was difficult. Certain people, most people actually, but certain people would really irritate me. I was so irritated with everything and almost everyone. Like, I really struggled not to like show irritation when people would talk to me. I was irritated, and I didn't want to deal with it. And like, it sounds weird, but I really like recently learned that is a type of aversion that you can get, is an aversion to certain people and certain places, which I did not know. That was brand new information to me, but it was bad. Like, it's inexplicable, inexplainable, indescribable. What's the word? Like, how much something, place, or someone irritates and frustrates you. Like, it's very weird feeling, because you don't understand why. You're just feeling like that. It's difficult. And with all of the nausea mentally killing me, and like not understanding why I'm so irritated with certain people and certain things and so on and so forth, and just feeling like out of control and like I cannot fix the problem, I was really down. I was really like down. And also because this pregnancy was not planned, it was kind of like fear. No, not fear. Like, I wouldn't say fear. Now I'm getting fear. I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? But it was more like I was out of control, and I didn't like it. I didn't like being out of control. I'm a control freak. Everyone knows that. So it was, I felt down. I felt like not emotional, like emotional. Like it didn't feel my emotions. I was just like frustrated and irritated, and that was the emotion that I had and nothing else. And it was really difficult to find joy and smile and be happy. Even when Laura would show me like something cool that she did or a cute picture, I would struggle to smile. I would really have to tell myself, just smile. It was difficult, but I knew that it was hormones and it was just it's going to pass. And I obviously just prayed against it, and it did pass, thankfully. So hoping it's not going to come back. My second trimester in my previous pregnancy was very like dead emotional. And that I was very kind of like not depressed, but very close to depressed. In my second trimester last time, I just also couldn't feel really. I was numb, was the word that I used then to describe it. So hopefully this time I'm going to be joyful and joyous and enjoy and feel all the excitement and all the stuffy stuffs, the good stuff, and the nesting and the energy, which I don't know where I'm going to get it. I'm getting a little bit of energy back, but it doesn't last long, and I'm so out of breath already, and I'm so big already. I don't know where it's going to. Anyway, doctor already said baby's a little bit big, so yahoo! All right, but that was my first trimester. If you have any questions, let me know down below. I tried to put you on an angle so you can see me cutting, just so you have something to look at. But hopefully you just put me on in the background and listen. Okay, so thanks for listening. If you have questions, like I said, pop them down below. Let me know if you want to see the chemical pregnancy story or not, which is also fine. Like, tell me what you want, and I guess we'll see you next time. Thanks for growing with us, literally this time. Bye.